My arrogant sisters demanded to rent out my vacation house for profit. When I refused, their husbands broke in and are now facing charges. I inherited my grandmother's lake house when I was 26. It wasn't fancy, just a cozy 2-bedroom cabin with a dock and a view that made you forget the world existed. My grandmother left it specifically to me because I was the one who spent every summer there with her, learning to fish, fixing the roof, repainting the shutters. My sisters, Melissa and Dana, visited maybe twice in 15 years. The will was clear. The house went to me, along with a small trust for maintenance. My sisters got other assets, jewelry, stocks, her car. Everyone seemed fine with it at the reading. That lasted about 6 months. Last spring, Melissa called with what she called a brilliant opportunity. Dana and I were talking, she said. All business. That lake house is just sitting there most of the year. We could list it on Airbnb, split the profits 3 ways, you'd make a killing. I told her no immediately. The house wasn't an investment property. It was my sanctuary, my place to decompress, my connection to grandma. She laughed like I'd told a joke. You're being selfish. It's basically free money sitting empty. Dana called next, taking a different approach. Melissa told me you said no. I get it. You're sentimental. But think practically. We could hire a property manager. You'd barely notice. Plus, we're family. We should all benefit. I explained again. The house was mine. I used it regularly. I wasn't interested in turning it into a rental business. Her voice went cold. Grandma would want us to share. The group texts started. Both sisters, their husbands, even my mom got pulled in. They called me greedy, selfish, ungrateful, said I was hoarding an asset that could help the whole family. My brother-in-law, Eric, Melissa's husband, sent me rental comparables, showing houses in the area making $4,000 a month. You're leaving money on the table, he wrote. That's just stupid. He even sent me links to property management companies, acting like the decision was already made. I muted the chat and spent a weekend at the lake house trying to forget about it. I needed the peace, needed to remember why this place mattered so much. That's when I noticed something off. The spare key I kept under a rock by the dock was missing. I'd used it 100 times. It had been there for years, weathered and familiar. Now it was gone. I changed the locks immediately and installed security cameras, front and back. Something in my gut told me this wasn't over. 2 weeks later, my phone lit up with motion alerts at 3 a.m. I opened the app and saw 2 figures on my front porch. Eric and Dana's husband, Kyle Eric, was holding a crowbar. I watched in disbelief as he jammed it into the doorframe, splintering the wood. Kyle kicked the door and they were inside. My heart was pounding as I watched them move through my grandmother's house like they owned it. I called 911 immediately, then called my neighbor who lived a mile down the road. By the time police arrived 20 minutes later, Eric and Kyle had broken the lock on my storage shed and were loading my fishing gear, tools, and a generator into Kyle's truck. The officers caught them mid-theft, hands literally on my property. They tried to run when they saw the patrol car, but there was nowhere to go. At the station, they claimed they had permission because we were family and the house was supposed to be shared. They actually told the officers I'd given them verbal consent months ago. The police report noted forced entry, property damage, and attempted theft. Both were charged with breaking and entering and criminal trespass. The evidence was overwhelming. My security footage showed everything, crystal clear. The family explosion was immediate. Melissa screamed that I'd destroyed her marriage by getting Eric arrested. Dana accused me of overreacting, saying they were just trying to talk to me. My mom begged me to drop the charges. They made a mistake. You're tearing this family apart. My dad stayed silent, but I could see the disappointment in his eyes. Not at them, at me. I didn't drop anything. The prosecutor moved forward. Both men pled guilty to avoid trial. They got probation, community service, restitution for damages, and permanent restraining orders keeping them 500 feet from my property. My sisters haven't spoken to me since. Mom still sends guilt-laced texts about forgiveness. Last weekend I sat on the dock at sunset, phone buzzing with another message from Melissa. I deleted it, cast my line, and watched the water turn gold. Grandma would have been proud.